G'day, today in episode 465, I want to look at the balance between authenticity and accessibility. G'day. Here on the Shinkansen station here in Myoko, waiting for the train back to Tokyo. Just spent a couple of days here at a ski resort, and it struck me this idea of authenticity, because like many resorts in Japan, this particular place has got an onsen, and it also happens to have a large percentage of guests coming from Australia. And when I walked into the onsen with the management of the hotel, I said, surely you don't get too many Aussies coming to use this facility, because the onsen culture demands that you're basically fully naked once you're in there. And my guess would have been that many Aussies would feel uncomfortable with that total nakedness thing. Of course, the management said, no, they understand this is Japanese culture and this is the way it's done, and they're fine with it. But then when I asked them to check with the staff of course told them a different story. And the staff said that many Australians come in, they want to use the onsen, but when they find out the rules of the onsen, which is total nudity, they walk back out because they just don't feel comfortable. And it raises an interesting question about how much you force authenticity versus how much you allow some subtleties, some variations on it to allow others to access it, essentially. Because the onsen is really not accessible to many of the Australian market just because they don't feel comfortable. So I'm not sure exactly what that balance is. I personally think you've got to allow for a certain amount of accessibility. So you've got to tweak the authentic experience, I think, if you want to introduce people to it. And then maybe once they're introduced to it, then maybe they can go to the full onsen, if you like. But you know, I think it's the difference between cultures, but it's also the difference between accessibility and then growing an appreciation for what you have. Just a thought. Anyway, back to Tokyo. Rightio, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I will be back again tomorrow. See ya.
Come and see the real thing, come and see the real thing, come and see.